Thank you for turning to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at a spell that didn't originate in Greyhawk. Oh my goodness! It's from the Forgotten Realms. I don't care. It's a second edition spell. It's still a good spell, and it's one that sees a lot of play at my table. I've integrated it fully into my Greyhawk campaign, and that spell is... is Devastate. Not only is it a Forgotten Realms spell, it's an Old Empires spell. You have to have read Southern Magic to use this spell. Not at my table, just read Magic. It is an alteration spell. It's 8th level, range is 0, verbal, somatic, and material components. Casting time is 8 segments. Duration is 1 round per level. Area of effect is the caster, and there is no saving throw. So at level 8 spell, you'd have to be 16th to be able to cast this spell. So 16 rounds is going to be your time on the spell. This spell causes all the caster's spells to strike with devastating effect, hence the name. All targets suffer a -5 penalty to saving throws against the caster's spells, and all damage done by the caster's spells is increased by +2 per die. But the total damage cannot exceed the maximum bonus possible rolled damage without the bonus. That is, a fireball for 10 dice can only do 60 points of damage possible. A spell must be focused through a solid gold pendant, value of 100 gold pieces. I gotta go up here. A solid gold pendant, value 100 gold pieces, inscribed or cast with the sigil of the caster, and worn around the caster's neck for the duration of the spell. If the pendant is removed or destroyed, the spell ends instantly. And then we have a note here, it's a common spell. As a Forgotten Realms Old Empire spell, initial exposure requires a mentor or a read Southern Magic spell. I have dropped that entire note out of it. So let's unpack a little bit of what this guy does. It's an 8th level spell, as I've said. It'll run for 16 rounds, so 16 minutes. You get -5 save against all of your spells. That is really good, especially when you're around 16th level. Too much stuff makes their saving throws too easily for a 16th level mage to deal with. I'm not saying all the time, but when you're down to a 50-50 chance that a creature's going to save versus your spell, you start needing some modifiers to kind of bring their chances down a little bit. So a -5 will certainly do that for you, and especially if you cast it in conjunction with something like Robes of the Archmagi with a hold monster single target, you're looking at a -5 for the Devastate spell, -4 for the Robes, casting a mind affecting spell, and then a single target hold monster, -3. So you're looking at a total of -12. So they stack, and they stack nicely. So you can get some pretty devastating, see what I did there, combinations with this spell. You also get +2 points of damage per die. So if I throw a lightning bolt, and every die gets +2 bonus, and we do not live with this max damage thing. If you happen to roll tremendously and your bonus gets you beyond what the dice could do, then I allow that to stand. So if I'm a 16th level magic user, I'm adding 32 points of damage to my spell. 16 dice are going to average about 3.5. So what's that? 30, 48, call it 50, just because we're all friends here. So 50 plus another 16, so 66 points of damage. Saving throw for half is 33. That's pretty good. That's potentially quite a few targets for fireball, lightning bolt, and you're going to have quite a bit of damage dealt there. As far as the pendant goes, we do live with that. You have to have the golden pendant inscribed or worn with your personal sigil and worn around your neck for the duration of the spell. My players that use this spell, and I only have a couple, absolutely have the pendant, and they've got to come up with their own little sigil, so they have it, the pendant made with it inscribed. So this is a really potentially devastating spell, and I did that intentionally. -5 on the saving throws, and then damage done is +2 per die. So if you have a creature saving on an 11 versus a fireball, they don't have to save in a 16 or greater, or take full damage from the fireball. So this really ups your magic user's game at 8th level, or I'm sorry, at 16th level with an 8th level spell. I like this spell a lot. I don't let players just take this spell. This is one that I will usually give out in a treasure trove, because even at 16th level players, which I have a few, we've been playing this campaign over 40 years, I don't like them to just be wandering around using this spell willy-nilly. But devastating spell, to be sure. Quite a powerful spell. I know it's Forgotten Realms. I know it's second edition. I really don't mind either way. And the spell was brought to me courtesy of the Wizard Spell Compendium. This is in the first volume. These are available on DriveThruRPG, and they're only about $5 each. I recommend these, even if you can only get your hands on the PDFs, because I know these books are quite expensive. But it's every wizard spell that was appeared in D&D products, AD&D, D&D Expert, whatever, all the way through, I believe, 1994. So the first 20 years. So these are pretty complete. And if you play first edition and a little bit of second like I do, these are pretty much the last word as far as spells go. So I do recommend these. I did a video a few years ago on the Wizard Spell Compendiums. But that's all I've got today about a devastating spell, Devastate, 8th level spell. It absolutely is active in my Greyhawk campaign, and I actually have a few players who have it. They high-level characters. Like I said, my Greyhawk campaign is 42 years old, and elements of my campaign go back 44 years, but the actual Greyhawk campaign is 42 years old. So I have several high-level players at my table, and I actually have one player character of mine, Stormcrow, who is actually eligible to cast this spell as well. So that's what I have for today on page 121. Let me know what you think. Please leave comments below. Like and subscribe if you like the video. Tell your friends. Take a look at the Patreon. Help me out there. I'm still trying to grow the channel. It stagnated a little bit because of summer, but I know we'll pick right back up. But that's all I got today, so I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on page 121.